Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received the visiting United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Presidential spokesperson Ahmed Fahmy said that the visit comes within the continuous consultations between the two brotherly nations on different files of mutual concern, on top of which is the Israeli genocide war on Gaza. Fahmy also highlighted that the two Arab leaders also discussed ways of boosting distinguished bilateral ties in various domains. Following the talks, President al-Sisi accompanied the Emirati President to Cairo International Airport to pay him farewell. Upon the directives of the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Armed Forces continued airdropping tons of humanitarian and relief aid to the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. The move comes as Egypt has joined an international coalition to airdrop aid to the Strip after ground aid operations faced many obstacles from the Israeli occupation military, increasing the threat of famine on the Palestinian civilians. Egypt also continued the efforts in coordination with the international and the regional partners to access more aid to the Strip through the Rafah border crossing. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry received the Singaporean counterpart Vivian Balakrishnan, who is currently on an official visit to Egypt. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ahmed Abu Zaid said that Shoukry expressed a great Egyptian interest in maximizing the Singaporean company's benefit from the investment opportunities, especially the mega projects such as the Suez Canal Development Axis, as well as the multi-investment opportunities it contains, including the logistical activities and the port management. Abu Zaid added that the meeting tackled the overall bilateral distinguished relations and touched upon a number of vital files of common concern. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry held a phone call with the Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov, in which Shoukry expressed Egyptian condolences to Russia over the shooting incident which took place in a concert hall near Moscow and resulted in the killing and injury of scores of people. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ahmed Abu Zaid said that Shoukry renewed the Egyptian full rejection of all types of terrorism and violence, expressing Cairo's solidarity with Moscow in these critical circumstances. For his part, Lavrov thanked Shoukry for his keenness to contact him and hailed the deeply rooted ties that bind Egypt and Russia. Earlier, the Foreign Ministry released a statement expressing the Egyptian condolences to the victims of the cowardly attack, as well as the profound sorrow over the loss of lives, wishing the injured a speedy recovery. During a visit to the Rafah border crossing, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said a long line of blocked relief trucks on the Egyptian side of the border with the Gaza Strip, where people face starvation, is a moral outrage. The details follow.
UN Chief Antonio Guterres, on a visit to the doorstep of Gaza Saturday, appealed for a ceasefire to allow in more aid, saying the world has seen enough horrors in the Israel-Hamas war. As Israel occupation forces pressed on with a multi-day raid on the territory's biggest hospital, Palestinian officials reported 19 deaths at an aid distribution point on the outskirts of Gaza City. Gaza's Hamas authorities said at least 19 people were killed and dozens wounded by Israeli tank fire and shells, as they were waiting for desperately needed supplies. The Israeli occupation army denied it had fired on the crowd. In a similar scene earlier this month, the health ministry said Israeli fire had killed 20 people seeking aid in the same location. Most of the territory's 2.4 million people have sought refuge on the Gaza side of Rafah, where Israel has vowed to send in ground troops in its aggression against Palestinians. Guterres said he carries the voices of the vast majority of the world who have seen enough, deploring communities obliterated, homes demolished, entire families and generations wiped out. He said nothing justifies the October 7th attack or the collective punishment of Palestinians, and asked Israel to commit to total, unfettered access for humanitarian goods throughout Gaza. Hamas has repeatedly denied its fighters air operating from Al-Shifa, already raided by Israeli troops in November. The occupation army claimed that the current operation avoided harm to civilians or medical personnel, but the UN Humanitarian Office, OCHA, said health workers have been among those reported arrested and detained.
An official from the Palestinian resistance group with knowledge